Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week we talk to people from across the country about things you could do right here in New Mexico. And on this week's show, we got this.
We're so vulnerable, you know, it was such a vulnerable moment for all of us. And I think that's the beauty of a lot of these storylines is that you're seeing real, genuine emotion. This isn't scripted. This is happening in the moment. And I think that we were caught off guard with how emotional it made us feel and tap into, you know, things that we haven't felt in a long time.
And so we are seeing entrepreneurs take advantage of the rewards that are there. We see them using them to do things like invest back in the business, purchase new inventory and equipment, and also to recognize their employees.
Oh, we cannot forget our furry friends for a great barbecue.
All of that and more right here on that show we like to call New Mexico Rising.
They're a Grammy-nominated couple, a powerhouse on stage, and now the War and Treaty are sharing something deeply personal. Michael Trotter is living with type 2 diabetes, and together with his wife, Tanya, they're using their voices to raise awareness and inspire others to take control of their health. Also joining us is Dr. Craig Wierum, an expert in diabetes care, to share helpful tips for managing the condition. Welcome to all three of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Michael, can you tell us about your journey with type 2 diabetes and how you stay healthy?
I can. My journey began in 2011 where I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And when I got that diagnosis, I was very depressed. I felt very hopeless. But through my journey, Ozempic was introduced and to me by my doctor. And I have seen some real results, starting with the A1C. My A1C was poorly managed. I had a high A1C reading, and since Ozempic, it's gone from double digits all the way down to a single digit number. I've changed my diet, and I've moved and exercised more. And in the process of all three of these things, I am actually seeing a change in my weight myself. So I'm feeling great, and I want to share this information with everyone that I can.
And Tanya, how do you support Michael with everything going on in your lives?
Well, we travel a lot, and I want to say this right away to Mr. and Mrs. Chef that holds down the kitchen in the household. Okay, it starts with you. If you have certain things in that cabinet that will trigger, it's time to get rid of it, So supporting starts with knowing that you are the doctor of your kitchen. Dr. Craig here, he's going to tell you more about it. But in your household, you are responsible for what your family consumes. So whether you're Mr. or Mrs. Chef, whatever the case may be, it starts with prioritizing that kitchen. Because we're on the road, we do have a small kitchen on our tour bus. So we prioritize that by planning. We go to the store before we hit the road, making sure that we have the right snacks, making sure that we have things that aren't going to trigger Michael's need to want to have something sweet. So the whole bus has decided that he doesn't know that. He'll know it now. I'm sharing it with you that we hide certain things from him on the bus. He finds them sometimes, but
they don't hide it.
Yeah.
They have no idea that I already know.
He knows where they are.
It's my bus.
Yeah.
I know where all things are.
But he's decided to, not consume them the way he has. So planning, prioritizing, and realizing that if you're the person that's responsible for the food, you control that. And that's encouraging.
Yeah. My wife is seeing the results, the same results I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And so I don't feel crazy or I don't feel like it's not real. Mm-hmm. She confirms it with me.
Yeah. When I hug him, he's smaller. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? He's invisible. The waistline is leaving. So, and then, watching him just be happy and have all this energy and pretty much wear me out on stage. He's running back and forth for 90 minutes, and I'm having to learn to catch up with him now. So it's great to see that.
That's right.
And why did you both decide to speak out about diabetes and join this campaign?
Well, Novo Nordisk is our partner in this, and I decided because I realized through travels and through talking with people, especially in my family, when we get a type 2 diabetes diagnosis, we put the hammer on the nail and we nail the coffin shut ourselves. We give up right then and there. It's like, oh well, we're used to diabetes winning, and now I'm fighting back. And I want to encourage and empower people to give it a try. Change your diet, exercise, move. You don't have to go to the gym like Dr. Wierum says, but you have to move, play basketball, walk in your neighborhood, walk up those stairs, or if you're a performer like me, get on the stage and move. You don't have to move as much as Tina Turner, but you gotta move a little bit. And when you do those three things, Ozempic is an awesome partner, because Ozempic then comes in and handles the other side of things, like that A1C that we're talking about. It's not a miracle drug, and it is not a weight loss drug. I want people in our community to know that, hey, we make fun of it all the time when you see people losing a bunch of weight and like, oh, they must be on Ozempic. Well, I want you to understand that the first thing we're looking at is that A1C with Ozempic. But the weight loss portion happens simply because you're changing the diet and you're exercising. That can happen, period. So it's not a weight loss drug. It's not something that we should be thinking about. I think we need to be taking our diabetes journey serious. That's why we're entering into the My Ozempic era, where people like me and Tanya and others out there can really share stories of encouragement and empowerment.
And Dr. Wierum, what should people know about managing type 2 diabetes for every day?
So first I want to say how honored I am to be here with Michael and Tanya Trotter with Wierum Treaty, and the fact that they're inspiring and giving people hope who have type 2 diabetes, because it can be a hopeless situation when you hear that. And this is the best time in the world to get diagnosed with diabetes, the best time in history, because we have better drugs than we've ever had. Diet really has been harder, right? Because we have so many high-calorie foods. Exercise, tougher because jobs are less active. But as Michael said, you don't have to necessarily go to the gym, but you can just be walking. You can be playing basketball. You can be dancing. And then medication. So for Michael, it was Ozempic. Every person needs to talk to their doctor about what's best for them. But Ozempic is a GLP-1 receptor agonist that has been well proven to decrease blood sugar. Now, it also comes with potential side effects, primarily. However, there are rare thyroid cancers that have been seen in rodents, but they have not shown up in human trials, which is very encouraging. So we now have a class of drugs now for the first time in history that not only lowers blood sugar, but in the case of Ozempic, it actually decreases the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and death in people that have diabetes and cardiovascular disease. And just as of January, it is now FDA approved to decrease the decline in kidney function, the progression to dialysis, and cardiovascular death in people that have diabetes and chronic kidney disease, which, as you may know, is diabetes is the number one cause of chronic kidney disease in this country.
And where can our viewers go if they want more information or find support?
So Ozempic.com is a website where they can get information about the benefits, side effects, and risks of Ozempic. And then myozempicera.com is where they can learn more about Michael and Tanya and other inspiring stories that will hopefully inspire our listeners today to take control of their diabetes.
Thank you all three for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a tough year for business owners, but a new study shows they're still pushing forward. In fact, 9 out of 10 say they feel confident about growing their business. That's partly thanks to smart tools, mobile banking, and even how they're using their credit card rewards. Here with more are Shena Ashley, a national expert on community investment, and Justin Richardson, who runs a company that's working with top industries across the U.S. Welcome, you two.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Thanks, Abby.
This new report has some really interesting findings. What's the biggest surprise for you?
Yeah, we were so proud to be able to continue our small business owner survey. And in this round, we were really interested in understanding more about the digital tools that small business owners are using in order to help their businesses grow. One of the surprising things that stood out to us, though, in this survey was just how optimistic small business owners are right now for their ability to grow their businesses. And increasingly, a big part of that optimism is their ability to be able to turn to a wide range of digital tools that are really helping them invest in their business and really give them the tools that they need to continue to be able to face challenges and the uncertainty that they find themselves in.
And a lot of business owners are using tech in new ways. What are some of the most useful tools?
Yeah, it's been really helpful for organizations and businesses to turn to digital tools. And we found in our survey that the top 3 digital tools that business owners are turning to are things like their mobile banking apps, their business credit card, and accounting software. And I'll turn to Justin to just give a little bit more of how he's used that as a small business owner.
Thanks, Shena. You're exactly right. I mean, we have been lucky to have doubled the size of our company in the last 3-4 years. And I don't have a huge financial accounting staff or anything of that sort. And it's just myself, Janice, and my mom who comes in 2 days a week. So we rely heavily on those digital tools in order to make sure that we're getting the number of transactions out the door that we need to do on a weekly basis. And so those digital tools like mobile apps, credit cards, our ERP and accounting software are absolutely integral in making sure that we can continue to grow.
And the survey also talks about credit card rewards. How are owners using those to help their businesses?
Increasingly, as people are turning to business credit cards, more issuers are adding rewards to those programs. And so we are seeing entrepreneurs take advantage of the rewards that are there. We see them using them to do things like invest back in the business, purchase new inventory and equipment, and also to recognize their employees. And I think Justin has some really good real world examples of how he's been able to do that.
Yeah, no, we're lucky. I mean, we've been around for 45 years. So we have people who have been here for 20, 30, 2 gentlemen who are celebrating their 40th anniversary at Pacific Transformer. So we actually use those cashback rewards to reinvest into our employees. And whether it's something as small as buying Mother's Day brunch for the office, or something more significant, like unexpected health issues for one of our employees, or potentially a family member that's passed on, paying for the funeral costs. It's those little things that go a long way in reinforcing that family culture we have here at Pacific Transformer.
And what tips do you have for small business owners who want to use rewards wisely?
Yeah, I would say, don't let them sit idle. Really think about it as an important resource that you have to smooth some of those revenue gaps. And just like Justin, to make sure that you are investing back into the people who make that business strong and great, because that's a great foundation for continuing to grow that business.
And where can people go to find the full survey or get more info?
Please search for us at CapitalOne.com. You can look for the Insight Center, and also using any of your favorite search engines, check us out at the Capital One Insight Center, where you'll find this study and many others.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Abby.
Healthcare is getting more expensive, and many families are struggling to keep up. Some of the rising costs may be coming from the hospital pricing that's not always easy to understand. Joining us is Sean Grimminger, President and CEO of the National Alliance of Healthcare Purchaser Coalitions. He's here to help explain what's happening and how it's affecting local businesses and families. Hi, Sean. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Abby. Thanks for having me.
Why should families and workers here in New Mexico be paying attention to hospital pricing practices?
So in the United States, about half the people in the country receive health care through their employer. So if you're not on Medicare or Medicaid, there's a good chance you're getting your health care through a person who gets their health care through the organization that they work for. And we pay much higher prices than Medicare and Medicaid pays. So in New Mexico, on average, employers are paying 265% of what Medicare would pay for hospitals for the same service, so more than 2.5 times. And that is largely because hospital systems have systematically over time driven up their prices, which means less money for companies that are investing in their workforce and less money for individual working families.
And how do these prices make it harder for local businesses to offer good healthcare benefits?
Yeah, so if you imagine you're an employer, you're thinking about hiring a new person or a new group of folks. You don't just look at what is the cost to you for their salary. You look at their entire benefits package, and that can include health insurance, life insurance, retirement, all of the other benefits. As health insurance becomes more and more expensive, at this point, it's now costing employers about $25,000 a year to provide healthcare to a single family. that makes you less competitive. It makes it more difficult for you as an employer to invest in other areas. Let's say you want to open up a new shop, or you want to open up a new line of service, you want to invest in new equipment. There's just less there. And it also means that you're able to pay your people less, because that additional increase that you're spending on health insurance is less money that you can put into wages, which is why we see so many working families struggling and noting that they don't feel like they're seeing the same sort of salary increases that they need to keep up with an economy that has experienced quite a bit of inflation in the last couple of years.
And what does this mean for families, especially when it comes to premiums and wages?
Yeah, so for premiums, we've seen employers have to sort of figure out how best to sort of balance how much they're going to pay on their end and how much they're going to pay. They're going to ask their employees to pay. So we've seen health insurance premiums on the family side go up year over year. It also means there's more out-of-pocket costs in many cases. So, you might, instead of paying $20 to go see a physician, you might be expected to pay $100 to go see a physician. And then for wages, as I was talking about it, what it means is that even though you're not necessarily seeing the amount of money that the employer is putting into your health insurance, you're just getting paid less in your own salary because the employer is paying so much more for the health insurance that they're providing on your behalf.
And are remote or lower income communities hit even harder by this?
Yeah, they really are. And obviously that's a huge issue in New Mexico. So frustratingly, these sort of large consolidated health systems that are often not technically for profit, but are pretty profitable, when they buy physician practices or they buy other hospitals to get larger and then drive up prices, they tend to focus on higher income communities, places where there are a lot of people with employer-sponsored insurance that can theoretically afford to pay the 265% of Medicare prices. Where they don't tend to invest is in lower income areas, in rural areas, in tribal areas like in New Mexico, which means that smaller rural hospitals and physicians that are trying to make it out in rural areas aren't seeing the same type of investment. So they're really struggling to make ends meet and struggling to continue to provide access to people in their community. So increasingly, as rural hospitals are closing, it means that people, and particularly in a state like New Mexico, you might have families that are having to drive 50 or 100 miles just to see a doctor or see a specialist, which clearly provides real barriers to access.
And where can people go to learn more or take action?
So the National Alliance is proud to be leading a campaign called Employers Against Hospital Pricing Abuse. Our website is hospitalpricingabuse.org, where your folks can go to learn more and get activated.
Sean, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks so much. Take care.
So what happens when you load a cruise ship with Christmas superfans, a few Hallmark heartthrobs, and more fake snow than the Bahamas has ever seen? You get Christmas at Sea, a brand new docuseries that set sail during Hallmark's 13th annual Christmas in July celebration. This 4-part series follows real-life fans living out their holiday dreams on the first ever Hallmark Christmas cruise, complete with karaoke, surprise proposals, ATV rides, and maybe a little matchmaking made on the 7 seas. Joining us today are 3 of the stars helping to make all that happen: Taylor Cole, Andrew Walker, and Wes Brown. Welcome to the show, you 3. How are you?
Great. How are you? How are you? Thanks for having
I'm
us.
doing okay. I'm not stuck out at sea. It's not Christmas time. All right. I guess you guys are doing better than me. You've all starred in plenty of Hallmark Christmas movies, but this time you're on a real-life cruise with real-life super fans. What made Christmas at Sea feel a little different?
This was a fan interaction that we have never got to experience. The level of connection and emotion and genuine storytelling and sharing with each other was unlike anything we've ever experienced. So to get the chance to document it was awesome. And I'm just glad that we got to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And there's some really personal moments in the series, like a surprise proposal. I don't want to give it all away. Maybe a script pitch or two, a couple of grandmas celebrating their grandson. Was there any particular story that stuck with you?
Well, I think the people going through some health issues, obviously, because that's pretty extreme. It's life or death, and they've come out on the other end. And I think that and it's made them want to do something momentous in their life. Make a decision that they've always wanted to do, but they never really thought was the right time. And so I think some of those stories, and there was a few within the 5 story lines, those were the ones that really impacted me. I think the most. Yeah.
And we hear there was a Finding Mr. Shipmas competition and pretty much a full-on Christmas tree lighting ceremony. What were the most memorable cruise events to let's just say for each of you?
I mean, this is for sure by far the most memorable cruise I've ever taken in my life. And I think the most impactful or memorable moment for me was just walking out on stage at the celebration, the initial reveal of all of the talent, and to see what kind of reaction we got when we walked out on stage was incredibly breathtaking. I've never had that kind of feeling like a rock star. I felt like
So much joy, so much love. It was overwhelming. It really was beautiful.
For me, it was towards the end of the cruise. We worked with a lot of talented actors. Here are two of them right there, but we had a part where we did a complete ad lib where we had one of our writers write about a 7-page, it was almost like a poem, and I got to read it, and then our actors got to act it out in front of a huge live audience. And that was just, I mean, I barely got through it because I was trying to watch them do their thing. But there was so much stuff. And that's just one of them. That's just one of many. And I think the fans just absolutely loved it.
Andrew, you and Paul helped someone plan a proposal at sea. How did you guys manage to hold together with all those like emotions and everything else going around?
Well, that was one of the storylines that I was talking about. She'd gone through a major surgery and came out on the other end. So it was, it was so, we were so vulnerable. It was such a vulnerable moment for all of us. And I think that's the beauty of a lot of these storylines, is that you're seeing real, genuine emotion. This isn't scripted. This is happening in the moment. And I think that we were caught off guard with how emotional it made us feel and tap into, things that we haven't felt in a long time. So to feel that empathy, for what these people have gone through, and to support them along the way, and to maybe fulfill a dream that they've had or something they've always wanted to do, they just didn't have the right forum to do it in, was incredibly rewarding and humbling.
And Hallmark fans are really a loyal group. My mom is one of them. And this docuseries kind of shows the connection between stars and their audience. And what did it mean to kind of celebrate that bond, especially in such an over-the-top, maybe silly, joyful way?
I mean, when you watch a Christmas Hallmark movie, it brings all of the feelings, all of the love, all of the joy. And really, they're not just watching the Hallmark movies, they live them. So you feel it in person. So it's beautiful.
All right, thank you, Thuri, for joining me this morning. Don't miss Christmas at Sea. It's a 4-part docuseries that's coming into your home this summer. It premieres July 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern on Hallmark Channel, and it streams the next day on Hallmark Plus. Perfect for anyone who thinks Christmas could happen or should happen more than once a year. Hey, thank you, Thuri, for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Have a great day.
Grilling is a summer staple, but it doesn't have to be the same old routine. July is National Grilling Month, and joining us with some bold flavors and some new ideas is Chef Michelle Wallace, a Top Chef alum, James Beard honoree, and award-winning pitmaster known for her creative twists and big Southern energy. She is sharing smart tips, go-to recipes, and ways to bring some more flavor and fun to your next backyard cookout. Welcome to the show, Chef. How are you, my friend?
I'm great, Dan. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so what is like the biggest key to success when it comes to like grilling?
Absolutely. The biggest key is really about preparation and passion. I trained at a barbecue joint for over 7 years and now my own spot between Sandwich Co. And it really taught me that details matter. Season it right, watch the heat, and cook with love. That's when the magic happens.
So when you're building like a summer menu, what's one of the simple ways to shake things up to put it on the grill?
I look to shake things up with chicken. Yes, I said it. Chicken can be the underdog of barbecue, but Purdue is here to prove that it got main character energy. Their grilled chipotle lime chicken with strawberry salsa and grilled Parmesan garlic wings. Pair those with ranch dip are a chef's kiss. I love that Purdue's got it all. No antibiotics ever, new sustainable packaging, and ready to go whether you're grilling for a weekday meal or a weekend hangout. Purdue makes it easy. Skip the boring stuff. Let the chicken shine. Check out purdue.com/recipes for more ideas.
Is there any way that you could like layer in some bold or unexpected flavors when you're trying to grill?
Oh, absolutely. It's a must when you're grilling. And I look toward to Hidden Valley Ranch to layer in all of my flavors. One of my go-to moves is to use their ranch seasoning on chicken wings before they hit the grill. This adds a craveable, zesty kick. I serve them with a side of ranch for dipping because, you know, that combo never misses. I also sprinkle the seasoning on the corn on the cob, a grain bowl, or a summer salad. Top it off with some Hidden Valley cilantro lime ranch. You've got creamy, tangy flavor in every single bite. Now with Easy Squeeze bottle, there's no mess. You don't have to think twice, just a quick squeeze and you're good to go.
And do you have like a go-to trick or ingredient that really boosts that flavor of what's on the grill?
Oh, my go-to trick is with South Chicago Packing. Their beef Wagyu tallow is the ultimate flavor upgrade for grilling. It's one ingredient with endless possibilities. Whether you're grilling meats or veggies, it's the flavor that transforms every cookout with ease. It adds rich, beefy depth that will take your cookout to the next level. South Chicago Packing Wagyu Beef Tallow isn't your average cooking spray. It's 100% all natural, and now it comes in an easy-to-use spray, which makes prep quick and clean.
I know we're enjoying the barbecue and the grilling. Is there a way that we could have our pets join in on the fun?
Oh, we cannot forget our furry friends for a great barbecue. And Purina bacon strips have new limited edition treats like bacon and beef brisket or bacon and pork spare rib flavors. Represented by my friends Rodney Scott and Myron Mixon, these flavors are sure to bring the barbecue goodness to your backyard. Made with real bacon and quality ingredients, your pup gets something special while you enjoy your food. Vote for your favorite at battleofthebacon.com before September 30th.
Michelle Wallace, thanks for joining us this morning. Where can our viewers go for more information, maybe get some better grilling tips and recipes, and all that other good stuff?
Oh, head right on over to tipsontv.com. You'll find everything there.
Hey, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you. Happy grilling.
And that's it for New Mexico Rising. Want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. And if you want to follow us on social media, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. Go to our website, newmexicorising.com. Email me if you want to be on the show. That's newmexicorising@gmail.com. Make sure you follow our YouTube channel. That is @NMRising. Make sure you like, comment, share. Everything that those YouTubers say helps us too. And until next week, that was New Mexico Rising.
Valentine, string your magic arrow, pierce it through my heart. Valentine, bring me love and sorrow. It's not fair to leave me in the dark. Every year I write you something different. Every tear's a fight. Maybe I don't deserve it. It's not fair to leave me in the dark.